What's up, hockey fans? Welcome back to another video from Triple Deke Hockey. In this video, we'll continue our series with part 4 of the best NHL players to wear every jersey number. For the first 3 parts, check the links below. Before we get started, do us a favor and subscribe, like, and follow us on social media. We have had some awesome feedback, good and bad, regarding the choices in the first 3 videos, so we hope to hear from you again on this one. Now let's get started. First on our list is number 61, Rick Nash. Nash was selected first overall by the Columbus Blue Jackets in 2002 and played 15 seasons for them, the Rangers, and Bruins. Nash was nominated for the Calder Trophy but lost out to Barrett Jackman. The next season, he tied for league-leading goals with Jaromir Iginla and Ilya Kovalchuk, scoring 41 times. Nash finished his career having played over 1,000 games and scoring over 800 points. While he didn't win a Stanley Cup during his career, he did have a pretty solid international career playing for Canada, winning 2 gold medals in the Olympics and a couple other medals at the World Championships. Carl Hagelin is our choice for jersey 62, mostly due to the lack of competition. Don't get me wrong, he's had a solid career, but number 62 is definitely ready for the taking. The Swede was drafted by the Rangers and played for them, Penguins, Ducks, Kings, and Capitals. He's won 2 Stanley Cups with Pittsburgh and was famously part of the HBK line with Phil Kessel and Nick Bonino during their 2016 Stanley Cup run. Playing in over 700 games in his career, he's also appeared in the most playoff games of any player during the 2010s decade and won a silver medal with Sweden at the 2014 Olympics. 63, we have a controversial player. Not because of the debate if he belongs here, but because of the type of player that he is. Brad Marchand is our choice here, but again, there wasn't much competition. He's one of the biggest pests in the league and has been suspended a handful of times for his antics, but there's no denying the skill he possesses. At this point in his career, all spent with Boston, he's nearing 900 career games and over 800 points. He was also on the 2011 Bruins Stanley Cup squad and has won a handful of medals internationally for Team Canada. Michael Granlund gets the nod for us at 64, once again due to little competition. Granlund is a perfectly fine hockey player, carving out a nice career for himself, but definitely not on the top tier of players on our list. The Finnish center started his career in Finland and has played for Minnesota and Nashville in the NHL, now in his 10th season and scoring over 450 points in his career. He has also played a bunch internationally for Finland, earning a handful of medals. The theme continues at 65, another number without much competition. Erik Karlsson is our choice here. Even though he's quite deserving, he's been one of the best defensemen in the NHL for the past decade. Karlsson has played 13 seasons in the NHL and is currently with the Sharks, but before that spent 9 seasons with the Senators, where he won 2 Norris trophies as the league's top defenseman. He's well known for his speed and his ability to lead the rush, playing a ton of minutes every single night. He's nearing 700 career points and has played in a handful of international competitions for Sweden, including earning a silver medal at the 2014 Olympics. Where do we even begin for the next player? Sorry, Josh Hosang, but the only choice here is Mario Lemieux. Lemieux is one of the top 3 or 4 players to ever play the game and has been called the athlete with the greatest impact on his city for what he's done to the city of Pittsburgh. Honestly, a few blurbs about him doesn't do him justice, but let's try. To start, he won 2 Stanley Cups as a player and 3 more as an owner. He represented Canada internationally and finished his career with 690 goals and over 1,700 points. He once scored 5 goals 5 different ways in one game. He had to take time off due to cancer, but on the day of his last treatment, flew to Philadelphia and played that night. The list just goes on and on. Unfortunately, Lemieux was plagued by so many injuries, so there's no telling what other records he may have finished his career with. Someone in the comments of another video of ours said it best, that Wayne Gretzky probably had the better NHL career, but Mario Lemieux was probably the more skilled player. With a mediocre group at number 67, a former first-round pick, Max Pacioretty, is our choice here. The former Montreal Canadiens captain has played for 3 teams, Canadiens, Golden Knights, and currently the Carolina Hurricanes. Pacioretty is into his 15th NHL season, having played over 800 games and earning over 640 career points. He's also represented the United States in international play and has earned the Bill Masterson Memorial Trophy for perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to hockey in 2012. Having one of the most incredible careers of any player in NHL history, Jaromir Jagr is our obvious choice for number 68. Jagr started his career alongside Mario Lemieux in 1990 and proceeded to win Stanley Cups the next 2 years. Playing in the NHL until 2018 with a 3-year sabbatical in the KHL, Jagr played for 9 teams, amassing over 1,700 games and 1,900 points, which is currently second all-time in NHL history. He holds a huge amount of team and NHL records, and along with his 2 cups, has won the Art Ross Trophy 5 times, the Lester B. Pearson Award 3 times, Hart Trophy 1 time, and is a member of the Triple Gold Club. He's also played extensively for the Czech Republic and has won a handful of medals as well. Andrew Desjardins gets the 69 spot by default. For some strange unknown reason, players have avoided using this number. Desjardins and Mel Engelstad are the only 2 players to ever wear it, and Engelstad did for only 2 games. Desjardins currently plays in Germany, but when he was in the NHL, he played for the Blackhawks and Sharks over the course of 400 games, acquiring only 64 points. 70 is another number with very little competition, but regardless, Braden Holtby would have it locked up. The 2008 draft pick spent the first 10 years of his career in Washington, where he won a Vezina Trophy in 2016 and the Stanley Cup in 2018, and then the Capitals won the William M. Jennings Trophy in 2017. After his time in Washington, he moved on to Vancouver and Dallas, but overall, he's played in over 500 career games with 299 career wins. Number 71 gives us another easy choice in Evgeni Malkin. Often taking the backseat to some other guy on this team that we'll see later on in this list, Malkin is a superstar in his own right and one of the best players of his generation. The Russian star has spent his entire career in Pittsburgh, winning the Calder, Art Ross, Hart, Ted Lindsay, Conn Smythe, and 3 Stanley Cup Championships during his time there. He's also played extensively for Russia internationally and has won a bunch of medals during his career. Gino, as he's often called, is in his 17th NHL season, where he just hit his 1,000th career game and has scored over 1,150 career points. Number 72 was a toss-up between Sergei Bobrovsky and Patrick Hornqvist, but ultimately the 2 Vezina trophies sealed it up for Bob. He's been one of the best goaltenders since making his NHL debut back in 2011, winning those 2 Vezinas while with the Blue Jackets in 2013 and 2017. Currently playing in Florida, Bob has played in over 600 career games and has won over 340 of them. He's also played internationally for Russia, winning a few World Championship medals. Number 73 is another number with not much competition, so we're going with Michael Ryder. Ryder played 9 seasons while wearing number 73, putting up 431 points while wearing it. During his career, he played for 4 different teams and scored 8 goals in the 2011 playoffs while helping Boston win the Stanley Cup. We had a couple of solid choices at number 74 with TJ Oshie and John Carlson, but Carlson is our choice here. Carlson was drafted in 2008 by the Washington Capitals and has spent his entire career there and has since blossomed into a star defenseman, having won the Stanley Cup in 2018 and being a Norris Trophy finalist a handful of times. At this point, he's played close to 900 career games and has over 600 points, as well as representing the United States in international play in the 2014 Olympics and 2016 World Cup of Hockey. Hal Gill, Walt Podubny, and Leroy Goldsworthy are the competition for our choice at 75, Ryan Reeves. We're going with Reeves mostly for the shock value his name brings. Reeves was drafted by the Blues in 2005 and has also played for the Penguins, Golden Knights, Rangers, and currently the Minnesota Wild. He's known for his enforcer playing style, fighting, intimidating, and protecting his players. He's been suspended a handful of times in his career, but has carved out a solid career, having played almost 800 games at this point. PK Subban stands way above everyone else to wear number 76. Subban played 13 seasons in the NHL for Montreal, Nashville, and New Jersey. In 2013, he won the Norris Trophy as the league's top defenseman and finished tied for leading scorer among defensemen. Subban has also played internationally for Canada, winning a gold medal in the 2014 Olympics. Subban finished his career playing over 830 games and scoring 460 points. Yes, Ray Bourque did begin his career wearing number 7, but he also spent 15 seasons wearing 77, so he's our choice here for 77. With the likes of Paul Coffey, Victor Hedman, and Phil Esposito, this number had some stiff competition, but Bourque is very deserving. He holds the NHL record for most career goals, assists, and points by a defenseman, and has won the Norris Trophy 5 times, and finishing second 6 times. He's also finished second for the Hart Trophy 2 different times, which is rare for a defenseman. Bourque won his only Stanley Cup in his last career game after being traded to the Colorado Avalanche for a Stanley Cup run. It seemingly rarely works out this way, but for Bourque, it turned out to be the perfect ending. He played internationally for Canada and holds a ton of team and NHL records, so all told, finishing his career at over 1,600 games played and almost just as many points. 78 is absolutely one of the weakest player pools on this list, having only 7 players to ever wear it. So our choice here is Mark Pouliot. Pouliot began his junior career in the QMJHL and played on a line with Sidney Crosby prior to being drafted into the NHL. He ended up splitting his time between the AHL and NHL, finishing the NHL career with 57 career points. After being released from his final NHL contract in 2012, he began playing overseas and has been there ever since. Number 79 has had a few noteworthy players like Alexei Yashin, Michael Ferland, and Carter Hart, but we're going with Andrei Markov, mostly because of his consistency and longevity. After being considered one of the best defensemen in Russia, Markov was drafted by the Canadiens, where he ended up spending 17 seasons. He finished his career having played 990 games and had over 570 points. After his time in the NHL, he spent a few more seasons in the KHL and also played extensively internationally for Russia. And last but not least, we have number 80, going to Nick Antropov. Honestly, we debated between Kevin Weekes and Antropov, but due to his consistency and longevity, we chose him. Antropov was drafted 10th overall by Toronto in 1998, which probably was a little too high at the time. Along with Toronto, Antropov spent time with the Rangers, Thrashers, and Jets. He finished his NHL career having played almost 800 career games and scoring 465 points before moving on to the KHL for a few seasons. The Kazakhstani Canadian also played in a handful of international tournaments for Kazakhstan. And there we go, hockey fans, the best players to wear jersey numbers 61 through 80. I'm sure there'll be some differing opinions on some of these, so feel free to let us know in the comments. Do us a favor and like and subscribe, and check us out on social media too. Don't forget the links below for past videos of this series, and remember, it's a great day for hockey.